Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to review the book Psionics Augmented Volume 1 from Dream Scarred Press, a Pathfinder-compatible psionics supplement. Goes along with Psionics Unleashed and Psionics Expanded, both of which I have reviewed here on my channel, and both of which I consider to be excellent products. Up front, this was given to me as a review copy. I just noticed there's no table of contents. I did not notice that first time I read this. Just something I picked up now. Alright, the book opens up with a couple of new races, not uncommon for Psionic books apparently. It seems to have been a precedent. And we have the Forgeborn and the Neural. The Forgeborn are a race of half-constructs produced out of the fallen or dying bodies of warriors. And the half-construct racial trait was introduced in the Advanced Race Guide in Pathfinder from Paizo. And they've kind of rolled back some of the abilities slightly, so this race can actually be raised and resurrected as opposed to your average half-construct cannot. They're a little slower. They have the slow and steady traits, and they're like dwarves. They don't move as quickly, but they can carry greater weights. They're a psionic race, not shocking, they're a psionic race. And they're essentially infused with psionic energy, having a power stone in their forehead and one in their chest. And they appear as partly non-organic, so they are at least non-flesh. So it could be stone, it could be metal, it could be wood. Something about them definitely has a look that is strange, and they have no memory of their past life. So essentially, they're being reborn as a new creature. And I kind of like the way they did it, and with the ability to have them be fused of different materials or a combination of materials. I think you have some really nice different looks. I think it would be cool to play, say, an elf that had a wood feature in it. That would be kind of cool. And them being psionic race, it helps that they are playing a psionic class. They're kind of tailor-made to psionic warriors or soul knives, things like that. The other race is the Neural, and the Neural are also essentially a created race. They have a parasite that lives in the back of their skull and has tentacles that come down and grow out. So you end up with these 4 tentacles that are very hair-like. In the process of becoming this as a sort of a rite of passage as a young adult, this is the process they go through. That kind of concept was done in Star Trek as well. And when they make the shift into this new form with this parasite that's been, well, not a parasite, a symbiote that's been added to them, they are then called the Dream Scarred, which is the name of the company, which made me smile. Now, I look at this and I'm like, they're a psionic race. They're kind of pale, albino-like. They have tentacles that grow to the back of their skull, and I'm like, they're the anti-Illithid. They're the anti-Mind Flayers, which made me smile again. So I thought that was pretty cool. And the Neural have, they have resistance because they have a bond with their symbiote, so they get a bonus against diseases and mind effects. They can have a surge through their system because of the symbiote. They are, of course, psionic. They have a gift for tongues, which is cool, so they get to learn 2 languages at the very point of linguistics. They have low light vision, and they have an ability that once a day they can do a mind thrust, which is based on their manifestor base level, is based on their class level. So that's kind of cool. And there actually also are Neural who don't have the symbiote, so they also have stats for them as well. So, you got some variations in there. I think both the races are quite nice. And they have a whole slew of racial archetypes in here. And I like what they did here, that for every race, and all the races that have been introduced in the Dream Scarred Press Psionic books, is that they're having 2 of them which are psionic based and 1 which is not psionic based. And I liked that fact. Both because there are people who want to combine psionic and non-psionic classes, but there may be people who want to play one of these traditionally psionic races as a non-psionic class simply because they find the race cool or out of the ordinary. They want to play against type. And so giving them racial archetypes which are not strictly psionic I thought was quite bright and quite nice, and I enjoyed these archetypes. For example, the Thunder Jarl, which is a psychic warrior, just has a great idea. The War Hulk, which is an Aegis class with the psychic armor that they channel. They have a Neural, which is a pacifist, which is part of a Vitalist class, being very diplomatic in their world outlook. The Ophidians have a Flesh Binder, and that sounds just wonderfully evocative. They have the Scaled Rider psychic warrior archetype, and they have the Serpent Lord druids, which is cool because snakes are cool. I used to own a Burmese python. Then they have some archetypes that deal with specific psionic classes. The Arcane Mind for a Scion, which is helping to fuse in some arcane power. The Cannoneer for the Marksman. Where was there? Was one in here, if I remember where it was. Aha! They have the Fearmonger for the Dread. And they have the Feral Heart. And the Feral Heart is just the coolest archetype in this book. It's a soul life archetype where you channel claws. And some of the blade skills you can pick up. The class itself also gives you like rage-like bonuses to your abilities because you're becoming a feral creature when you're channeling these abilities. Some of the blade skills give you a bite. There's the option of taking a rake, a pounce, and a rend. So you could become this incredible combat monster, biting and clawing and ripping and tearing at your enemy. And if you're a half giant, those claws are one size larger. I'm not sure about the bite though. I don't know if the bite would be one size larger or not, because I don't know if that's going to be considered a manufactured weapon or is it going to become considered a natural weapon. I don't know. Someone who knows that, could you get back to me on that one? I would really like to know. Then they also have some archetype variations for core classes, like the Gaian Druid, which is all about being in touch with the biosphere itself, which I thought was quite flavorful. I like that. Then they had a psionic bloodline for sorcerers, so that's kind of cool. It's always nice having an option for new bloodlines. The Thought Singer Bard, so you have a bard with the psionic slant. Then they had a whole slew of new feats. There's one picture in here I must show you. That is just an awesome goblin. That's just beautiful. I just love that image. Like that was just, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And all the art in here is full color, so that's a nice touch too. Then they have a section in here for GMs all about setting up psionics in your game. Do you want a fully psionic game? Do you want to introduce a psionics into your game? How do you want to introduce them? What kind of transparency do you want when it comes to anti-magic and anti-psionics, and how do they interact? The meta magic things that can affect both psionics and arcane or divine magic. Are they all treated the same or are they different? How to put new flavor on the psionics in your game. How they might have a slight twist than the standard psionic abilities, just to customize them to your game. And they have a section on new powers and a section on new prestige classes. And I gotta tell you, I'm not a huge fan of prestige classes at this point in life. I prefer just archetypes. I think they do better. But there is one in here called the Dark Tempest, which you need to have. See, to get into this one, you need knowledge, the ability to manifest first level powers, form Mind Blade class feature, and either enhanced Mind Blade +2 class feature or Mind Blade Knight. So it's a variation of a soul knife. Then they have some new psychic items, and the new psychic item section is very nice. There are all kinds of psychic abilities, essentially magic items, but they're fueled by psychic power, which I really quite liked in here. And they're using the standard Pathfinder layout for those, which is quite nice. They also had some legendary items in here. Let's see if I can flip those. Here we go. And the legendary items, you gain more from them the more powerful you are, as far as, so like the item level has, like, for example, the Crown of Chaos. You can pick up the first ability, works for any level, but if you want the second level ability of this, you have to be fifth. You have to be 20th to access the 5th level ability. So I like the fact that there are items in here that grow with the characters, or you get more oomph out of it if you're a higher level character when you find it, because obviously you could find the ability when you're higher level. And I really like the way they did the layout on those. They were quite nice. All in all, this is a solid book of variant rules and additional things for your psionic campaign. I think it was just worth it for just the archetypes or just the psionic items. So when you get all this stuff combined, I think it's really a good value. Though I have to admit, I'm a little surprised there wasn't table contents. I just noticed that. Well, it's kind of weird. I picked the book up and I was going to use it as notes to go by when I did the review, but there isn't one. But other than that, I think they did an excellent job with this. I'm looking forward to Volume 2. Oh yeah, and one reminder, they're putting out Ultimate Magic. Now, Ultimate Magic combines their first 2 major books into one hardcover, along the lines of Ultimate Magic and Ultimate Combat that Paizo itself has done. So, there's a thematic consistency there. So in case you're interested, you might be able to get the whole thing in one shebang if you don't want to have to go through and get the 2 soft covers. I've got the 2 soft covers. But there are people who prefer hardcovers. I can appreciate that. Hardcovers wear better. So I would suggest if you like Psionics and you like Pathfinder, this is a book that you're really not going to want to miss out on. I enjoyed it. I like to read. The new races are nice, and the archetypes are just great. And that Feral Heart archetype is just awesome. Kudos to whoever of the team that wrote that particular archetype. I really do appreciate it. So go out there and get yourself some Dream Scarred Pressed work stuff. They really do nice things.